Hey everyone, this is Rob Blog Animation Bliss, and this is a bit of an animated special. So today's animated special is going to be on this year's 2017's Macy Day Parade, and you may notice that I actually posted this video kind of late, and that was because after I watched the Macy Day Parade, I was eating Thanksgiving dinner with my family, and I just sort of fell asleep after all of that eating. But I never regretted that because I had a lovely Thanksgiving dinner with my family. So those of you who were celebrating Thanksgiving this year, did you enjoy your Thanksgiving? Did you had a good Thanksgiving? And for those of you who didn't celebrate Thanksgiving, did you had a good holiday? How was your day? So let's get started to what I've saw this year's Macy Day Parade. Now, this one is going to be focused on the more animated side of things, on the animation side of things. So if you want to see my full thoughts on the Macy Day Parade, everything that was shown in it, check out my other video on my main channel about the Macy Day Parade itself. But this is just focusing on the animation side of things. And this year was actually really good dealing with animation. But let's talk about some animation highlights in the Macy Day Parade this year. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the SpongeBob SquarePants Broadway musical. I was actually surprised when this showed up because normally I wouldn't expect a Nicktoon like SpongeBob SquarePants to get a Broadway musical. I mean, I understand how popular SpongeBob SquarePants has become lately, but I never would expected him to get a Broadway musical. Usually, I think most Disney movies would get Broadway musicals, but it was nice. It's actually pretty interesting to see where this SpongeBob SquarePants Broadway musical is going to go. But yeah, that was the most surprising thing I saw that out of the Macy Day Parade. SpongeBob SquarePants getting his own Broadway musical. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Anastasia Broadway musical, which they were singing to Once Upon a Time. So yeah, I was actually surprised to see Anastasia make her appearance in the Macy Day Parade this year, especially since Anastasia like came out like 20 years ago. So I was surprised to see Anastasia pop up in this list. And for those of you who don't know what Anastasia is, it was the Dawn Bluth movie that came out in the late 90s. So if those of you who have seen the Anastasia anime movie back then, probably know about this what was going on with the Broadway musical. So I think they did this because it's Anastasia's 20th anniversary this year. So um I was really interested and I was really pleasantly surprised to see Anastasia pop up since I love Anastasia and I'm glad that the Macy Day Parade did something for Anastasia. So I am interested to see about the Broadway musical dealing with Anastasia. So the next thing I want to talk about is the frozen Olaf balloon. So I was actually surprised to finally see the Olaf balloon pop up in the Mason Day Parade. Like I thought they would have showed the Olaf balloon years ago, but they didn't quite did it. But they didn't really do it years ago. So this was the first year we see an Olaf balloon float of Frozen. It makes me wonder how long this is going to last. I think it's going to last for a while, at least until as long as Frozen's popularity lasts. But yeah, I was surprised to see the Olaf balloon float in there, and it looks very well done. So if you're a huge Frozen fan or you're a huge Olaf fan, you'll definitely enjoy this balloon float of Olaf. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Ice Age scrap balloon. That's been appearing for the last few years, so it makes me wonder if Ice Age is really such a popular franchise to begin with. But it's great seeing the scrap balloon make his appearance again in the Macy Day Parade. So I really enjoyed the balloon. And so if you're an Ice Age fan, you're definitely going to enjoy the scrap balloon. Next thing I want to talk about is the Hello Kitty balloon. So Hello Kitty did have a cartoon series back in the 80s, so that's why I'm kind of including Hello Kitty. But she's riding her airplane and in the balloon float, so I really love the Hello Kitty balloon float, and I love seeing Hello Kitty pop up in the Macy Day Parade every year, so I definitely love that balloon. Next thing I want to talk about is Pokemon, the Pikachu balloon, which I'm so glad I was so happy that they showed the Pikachu balloon, because for the last few years or so, Pikachu's been showing up in the Macy Day Parade, so I like the fact that they're still showing Pikachu. My only disappointment with the Pikachu balloon is that they didn't have his cheeks light up like they used to do. Like I always found out to be the best part about the Pikachu balloon. In on the Macy Day Parade was that his cheeks will light up to represent his lightning powers. But overall, I still enjoyed the Pikachu balloon, even though I wish his cheeks did light up like they did in the last few years. Um, Next thing I want to talk about is the Trolls balloon. So the Trolls have been in the Macy's Day Parade for the last few years or so after this movie came out. So there's supposed to be a holiday special starring the Trolls this year, I believe. So it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen with the Trolls franchise in that movie. So we do, of course we see the Troll balloon pop up in the Macy's Day Parade again. Next thing is the Peanuts, the Charlie Brown balloon. I'm glad to see Charlie Brown getting some more love in the Macy's Day Parade. Like for the last few years, it was mostly Snoopy who has the balloon float. Sometimes he would be with Woodstock and some of the balloon floats, but we see Charlie Brown this year trying to fly a kite. So I really like the fact that we get to see that in the Macy's Day Parade. So definitely love the Charlie Brown balloon. Next thing is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on float. So it's great seeing them again. Like the Ninja Turtles have been showing up in the Macy Day Parade for the last few years or so. So it was great seeing the flow of them. And they're supposed to be having a new cartoon series to have new voice actors for the Turtles. So I like to see how that new series is going to go. But it was great seeing the Ninja Turtles on float pop up in the Macy Day Parade. Then next we have the Angry Birds, the Red Balloon. The Angry Birds movie has been pretty popular with the fans, and they're going to make a second movie. So that's why we see the red Angry Birds balloon float in this Macy Day Parade. So it's great seeing that. Then the next thing we see, of course, the SpongeBob SquarePants balloon. So that shows up again in the Macy Day Parade, and SpongeBob SquarePants has been showing up in the Macy Day Parade for the last few years or so. So it's great seeing the SpongeBob balloon pop up again. Um, Next thing is the Grinch balloon. So I was really surprised by this one because I haven't really seen the Grinch balloon appear in the Macy Day Parade before. So it's great that they have the Grinch balloon in the Macy Day Parade, and I hope this becomes a yearly thing. I love the Grinch, and I think the Grinch is a really great anime movie to watch. So I hope they show the Grinch balloon every year for the Macy Day Parade. And last but not least, we got the Peanuts float. Um, Features Charlie Brown and the gang, and then Snoopy's among the gang. So if you love Peanuts, you can see the parade float with the Charlie Brown gang. So that was very great to see the Peanuts gang show up in the float in the Mason Day Parade. So those are the highlights of the Macy Day Parade for the 2017's Macy Day Parade. I really did enjoy this year's Macy Day Parade. I think the animation season or the animation in general is like the highlight of this Macy Day Parade. Like there's a lot of balloon floats, a lot of floats in general dealing with the world of animation. Like you have some highlights like the SpongeBob SquarePants balloon floats, and the fact that SpongeBob SquarePants is getting a Broadway musical. So it shows how far animation has really gone for most of these characters. I kind of wish they had a little more animated characters in the Macy Day Parade, but I was satisfied with the ones we got this year. And have you guys seen the Macy Day Parade this year? What are your thoughts about it? Do you think they did the world of animation justice? And what are your thoughts about the SpongeBob SquarePants Broadway musical? Do you think it should be a thing? Did you enjoy the performance in the Macy Day Parade, or you're like, nah, this shouldn't even be a thing? Please feel free to comment below, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter so we can keep you updated on any new videos we post up, and also like our Facebook page. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabdia's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later.